Hello, welcome back to the We Are City channel. Just bringing you a bit of news here today. We always bring up your news when we can on the We Are City channel, and this one is quite an interesting story that came out this morning. We put it out on our Twitter. If you haven't seen it this morning, the information we put out, the news we put out, it's We Are City MTFC on Twitter. So head over to our Twitter, follow us, and you'll get all the news that we put out before we go live and speak about it. And this news today is club news, not transfer news, but I suppose slightly transfer news. It's about Yaya Toure. Yaya Toure has been doing his coaching sort of training at QPR Championship side Queen's Park Rangers, which is a bit of a shock. Not many people knew about it. It was on the a story on the Coach's Voice. If you don't know who they are, they're a YouTube channel and a website, a sort of reporter, and they put out lots of things about players and ex-managers and do little tactical videos. They're very interesting, actually, if you haven't watched them. I know a recent one that I saw was Manuel Pellegrini talking about his tactics when Manchester City went and beat Manchester United 4-1. So Coach's Voice are a very good tactical channel. So if you want to see tactical football analysis, then head over to them. And they've done a little report on Yaya Toure. They've spoke to Yaya Toure, and he has spoken to them about him training to be a coach. And a few little good quotes came out of that article. One that was specifically used on the headline of their article was that Yaya Toure said, he thinks he's still got 1 year left in his legs. He still thinks he's got 1 year left in him. But he's been doing his training at QPR. He's been doing coaching, and he's really enjoying coaching. And he discussed a conversation he had with David Silva, City legend, of course, David Silva, another legend, who spoke to him. And he said when he was talking to David Silva, he was going into like really deep analogy into football and how they need to be playing when they're on the pitch, when they're together at City. And he realised he's thinking like a coach. And he really enjoyed the idea of thinking like a coach, thinking like a football manager. And from there, that's why he decided that he would become a manager in some way. So he's currently doing it at QPR. And the question is, do you think Yaya Toure will return to the club one day as part of the coaching team? Of course, he's loved by the fans, Yaya Toure. He sort of left, didn't he, in a poor way. And he said a few things about Guardiola and about the club at the end. And everyone remembers the birthday cake problem that Yaya Toure had, that Khaldoon and Sheikh Mansour didn't buy Yaya Toure a birthday cake, and he wasn't happy with that. He didn't feel appreciated by the club, and he wanted to leave, and then that seemed to blow over, and then he was Pep Guardiola came in, a player that Pep Guardiola had not got on with. Yaya Toure, I couldn't get my words out there, and Pep Guardiola said that he wasn't going to play Yaya Toure, that he wasn't going to play, and then eventually he did play, and he got back in the team. It was back to the old Yaya, well, not quite the old Yaya, because he wasn't breaking defences down, was he? Just running through them, or putting shots in the top corner. On his day, he was an unbelievable player, one of the best players City have ever had, and if it wasn't for him scoring them goals in the FA Cup semi-final against United, and the FA Cup final against Stoke City in, was it 2010, then City wouldn't be where they were today. So you've got to give credit, or is it 2011? You've got to give credit to Yaya Toure, what he did for the club. Massive thing that he did for the club. He worked so hard. He played so hard for the club, didn't he? Until he couldn't anymore, where his legs started to go, didn't they? As he got older. But it's very interesting. Could he return to the club as a coach? I'm sure the club would be interested in bringing him back. Teams like clubs like Barcelona. City do look up to them. Obviously, a lot of the backroom staff at City and a lot of the directors and so on, managers of the club, footballing directors and things like that, they are ex-Barcelona, and they look to Barcelona. They want to copy what Barcelona did, and Barcelona have brought through all the old players, haven't they, back in as coaches. I think Victor Valdez currently works there. Puyol is an agent for many of the youngsters in La Masia at Barcelona. There's plenty of other players that are involved. Xavi probably will come back, won't he, after the presidential elections in Barcelona as manager. So maybe City hope to do that as well. I'd love to see, Pablo Zabaleta, who's recently retired and doing his coaching badges and things, to come back as a coach at Manchester City in the near future. I'd love Yaya Toure to be some sort of coach in the team, or some backroom sort of person, or someone, who's an executive or something like that. Club relations. I mean, he's the best African player, I believe, ever to play in the Premier League. So why not be that sort of African club relations or whatever at Manchester City? There's plenty of jobs these people can have. Vincent Kompany needs to come back. Vincent Kompany definitely needs to come back at some point and be a coach, maybe a manager. I know he went to Anderlecht, which was a strange decision, I thought, by him. I thought he'd go into politics, I'm honest. But he went into management at Anderlecht. It's not gone amazingly well for him there. But I'd love to see Vincent Kompany come back. David Silva, all these players, I think City need to give them a chance to come back. And it doesn't necessarily work if you look at Manchester United and Chelsea and Arsenal at the moment. You know, United are doing a bit better at the moment, and Chelsea are on the downwards, and Arsenal are doing a bit better, and football changes so quickly. But they've brought in ex-players, haven't they, to be managers or coaches or whatever. And I think City should do the same. Obviously, it doesn't always work. I'm not saying that Yaya Toure, Zabaleta, Kompany, David Silva would immediately be good managers and could lead City into the future, winning the Champions League or whatever under them, but it's just the fact that they're there, and I think they should be involved with the club, the club legends. So that's just a bit of breaking news, a bit of club news that I thought I'd bring to you. This video, of course, is live at the moment, but won't be live. It'll be here for you to watch, and the comment section is open for you to leave comments. Let us know, what do you think? Should Yaya Toure be a coach at Manchester City in the future if he completes his badges? Should Pep Guardiola bring him in? So you let us know. Thanks for watching. Please, as usual, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.